When you're thinking, you're actually listening. But have you ever stopped to wonder who or what you're listening to? Is it your voice or something deeper, something hidden, a shadow that whispers truths and lies all at once? Think about it, that constant chatter narrating your life, questioning your choices, replaying memories like broken records, or inventing futures that never arrive. It judges, it warns, it protects. But also, prisons. Where do these voices come from? Lessons from the past, fears of the future, or are they fragments of who you once were or who you're terrified to become? Why does it hold so much power? Because you let it. Because you confuse its whispers for reality. Most of us never realize you are not your thoughts. You're not the voice. You are the one who hears it. You are the observer, the silent witness to all that noise. And yet most people go through life trapped in their own heads, tangled in a web of mental chatter they mistake for reality. But what if I told you that freedom from this endless noise is not only possible, it's within your reach? What if you could break free from the limits your own mind has placed on you? What if you could live a life of clarity, peace, and boundless energy? You see, the mind loves control. It thrives on keeping you busy, thinking, planning, worrying, regretting. And while you're caught in its grip, life is happening right in front of you, passing you by, moment by moment. You miss the beauty, the stillness, the magic of simply being present. In this video, we're going to explore how to silence the noise and connect with the deeper part of you, the part that exists beyond thoughts, beyond emotions, beyond the illusion of control. You're going to learn how to free yourself from the constant chatter and unlock a level of peace you didn't even know was possible. So I invite you to take a deep breath and let go of everything else just for a while. Let this moment be the beginning of a journey to rediscover the real you, the you that's been there all along, patiently waiting behind the noise. Because here's the truth, the voice in your head isn't you. And once you understand that, you'll never look at your thoughts or your life the same way again. And now let's dive deeper into uncovering the true nature of that voice and how you can finally reclaim your inner peace. When you're alone with your thoughts, what do you hear? A calm and supportive guide, or a restless chatter that never seems to stop? Most of us live with an inner voice that never quiets down, a constant narration that analyzes, criticizes, plans, and replays. But here's the eye-opening truth. That voice isn't you. Pause for a moment. If you can hear the voice, if you can observe it, doesn't that mean you're separate from it? You're not the chatter itself. You're the one listening to it. This realization is a powerful step toward reclaiming your inner peace, because once you know you're not the voice, you can begin to detach from its grip. But why is the voice there in the first place? Its purpose isn't inherently harmful. It's a mechanism designed to keep you safe, to help you make sense of the world, to predict and plan. Yet, in its overzealous attempts to protect, it creates mental chaos. It replays arguments, anticipates problems, and often fabricates worries that never come to pass. Imagine for a moment that you're at a movie theater. The screen displays a breathtaking scene, a sunset over a serene ocean. But instead of enjoying the moment, there's someone sitting next to you whispering nonstop, "Why is the sun that color? Do you think it's going to rain? What's happening next?" That's what your inner voice does. It narrates your life so incessantly that you miss the beauty of simply being present. So how do you break free? The first step is to observe the voice. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes if you can. Listen to the thoughts running through your mind. What are they saying? Are they analyzing this video, planning what you'll do next, maybe even doubting whether this practice works? Whatever it is, just listen. Notice how the voice behaves as if it has a life of its own. Here's a key insight. The voice isn't you. It's just a pattern, a collection of mental habits. When you observe it without judgment, you create a gap between yourself and the chatter. This gap is freedom. It's the space where you can experience life directly without the filter of constant mental noise. The voice thrives on your attention. The more you believe in its stories, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you step back and watch it, its power begins to dissolve. Instead of being the actor caught in the drama, you become the audience, calmly observing the play. And remember, the goal isn't to silence the voice. That's impossible. Thoughts will come and go. Your job is to recognize that they're just thoughts, not reality. They're like clouds passing across the sky. You are the sky, vast, unchanging, and unaffected by the clouds. This is the foundation of inner freedom, understanding that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And as you strengthen this awareness, you'll discover a deeper sense of peace and clarity than you've ever known. And now let's explore what happens when you apply this understanding to the emotions that voice often stirs up, how to release the baggage and truly let go. Of course, letting go isn't always easy. Some emotions are deeply rooted, tied to past experiences that left scars. But even then, the key is the same. Feel the emotion, but don't become it. Watch it, but don't let it define you. What if I told you that most of the emotional weight you're carrying isn't from the events themselves, but from your refusal to let go of them? Painful memories, unresolved, anger, and lingering fears. These don't have to define your life, but they will as long as you hold on to them. Emotions are like energy. They need to move, to flow. But when you cling to them, when you replay the past or resist what you feel, that energy gets stuck. It doesn't go away. It turns into baggage you carry everywhere you go. And the longer you hold on to it, the heavier it feels. Think about it. When someone says or does something that hurts you, what happens next? The event might pass in minutes, but your mind replays it over and over, analyzing every detail. You feel the pain as if it's happening again and again. The truth is, it's not the event hurting you anymore. It's your inability to let it go. But letting go isn't about forgetting or pretending something didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from the grip it has on you. It's about allowing emotions to rise, to be felt, and then to move on. Here's a simple but profound realization. Emotions are temporary. Anger, sadness, fear, they're like waves in the ocean. They rise, peak, and eventually fade away. But if you try to fight the wave, if you resist it or hold on to it, you'll be dragged under. Let me guide you through a practice right now. Think of something that's been weighing on you, an argument, a regret, or even a worry about the future. Notice how it feels in your body. Is there a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach? Don't judge it or try to push it away. Just let it be there. Now take a deep breath. As you exhale, imagine that tightness loosening, that knot unraveling. Say to yourself, I see you, I feel you, and I release you. Keep breathing gently, allowing the emotion to flow through you. This is the power of surrender, not as weakness, but as freedom. When you stop fighting your emotions, you create space for them to pass. You let go of the story your mind is telling and simply feel what's there. Of course, letting go isn't always easy. Some emotions are deeply rooted, tied to past experiences that left scars. But even then, the key is the same. Feel the emotion, but don't become it. Watch it, but don't let it define you. Here's another practice. When you feel an intense emotion, label it. Say, this is anger, or this is sadness. By naming it, you separate yourself from it. You remind yourself that it's just an emotion, not who you are. Because the truth is, life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about moving through it. It's about allowing yourself to feel deeply, to experience fully, without getting stuck. And now that you've begun to release emotional baggage, let's turn to another source of inattention, the illusion of control, and discover how surrendering can set you free. We all crave control, control over our lives, control over others, control over the future. It feels safe, doesn't it? Like if you could just manage every detail, you'd finally be okay. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control, the more you realize how little control you actually have. And that realization, though terrifying at first, can also set you free. Think about it. How many times have you carefully planned something only to have life take its own course? Maybe you rehearsed the perfect conversation, but it didn't go as expected. Or you envisioned your career unfolding a certain way, only to end up somewhere completely different. It's frustrating, isn't it? But it's also inevitable. Control is an illusion. Life is too vast, too complex to fit into the boxes we create. The weather doesn't change because you wish it wouldn't rain. Other people don't act according to the scripts you've written for them in your mind. And the future unfolds as it will, regardless of how much you try to predict or manipulate it. So what happens when you cling to this illusion of control? You suffer. You resist the natural flow of life, trying to bend it to your will. You stress over things that are beyond your power, exhausting yourself in the process. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. But what if you let go? What if you surrendered, not in defeat, but in trust? Trusting that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't. Trusting that you can handle whatever comes, even when it's not what you planned. Let me guide you through a simple exercise. Close your eyes if you can and think about something you're trying to control right now. Maybe it's a decision, a relationship, or an outcome you're desperate to make go a certain way. Notice how it feels in your body. Is there tension, anxiety, a sense of urgency? Now, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine releasing that need to control. Picture yourself opening your hands, letting go of the reins you've been gripping so tightly. Say to yourself, I release this. I trust the process. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring or stop taking action. It means you stop trying to force outcomes that aren't yours to dictate. It means you show up, do your best, and then let life take its course. Here's the thing, life has its own rhythm, its own wisdom. And when you stop fighting it, when you surrender to the flow, you find a sense of peace you can't achieve through control. You start to see that even when things don't go as planned, they often turn out better than you could have imagined. Imagine standing in a river. If you resist the current, trying to push the water in a different direction, you'll tire yourself out. But if you flow with it, you'll move effortlessly. Life works the same way. The current is always moving, always guiding you if you're willing to let it. But surrendering isn't just about external circumstances. It's also about your inner world. How often do you try to control your thoughts or emotions, forcing yourself to feel a certain way? What if you simply allowed them to be? What if you trusted that they too will flow and fade, just like everything else? Here's a mantra you can carry with you. I control what I can, and I let go of what I can't. Repeat it whenever you feel the urge to grip tightly, to force, or resist. It's a reminder that while you can influence your actions, your choices, your attitude, the rest is up to life. Now that you've loosened your grip on control, let's explore how to live more openly and freely, unlocking the full potential of your heart and your life. Imagine a life where you wake up every morning with a sense of freedom, where your heart feels light, your mind is at peace, and you're open to whatever the day may bring. That's the essence of living openly. But for many of us, it's a distant dream because we've built walls around ourselves, walls made of fear, pain, and the desire to protect. Think about it. How many times have you held back your feelings out of fear of being judged or avoided opportunities because you didn't want to fail? These walls may feel like they're keeping you safe, but they're also keeping you trapped. They block the flow of life, the connection to others, and the beauty of new experiences. Living openly doesn't mean you won't face challenges or get hurt. It means you stop letting the fear of those things dictate your life. It means you choose to embrace life fully with all its unpredictability and imperfection. Let's start with the heart. Your heart is the most powerful energy center in your body. When it's open, you feel alive, connected, and at peace. But when it's closed, you feel isolated, defensive, and heavy. So why do we close our hearts? It's usually because we're afraid of being vulnerable, of getting hurt, of being seen for who we truly are. But here's the truth. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's the pure expression of strength. When you live with an open heart, you allow yourself to feel deeply, to connect authentically, and to experience life fully. Yes, it's risky, but it's also where true joy and fulfillment are found. Here's a practice to help you start opening your heart. Take a moment and think about someone or something you love. A person, a pet, a place, or even a memory. Feel the warmth that comes with that love. Now imagine that warmth expanding, filling your chest, and radiating outward. With each breath, let that feeling grow stronger, as if you're sending it out into the world. That's the power of an open heart, and the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to live this way, not guarded, but free. Living openly also means embracing the present moment. How often do we get caught up in worrying about the future or regretting the past? Meanwhile, life is happening right here, right now, and we're missing it. The present moment is where life unfolds. It's where beauty, joy, and peace exist. But to experience it, you have to let go of the mental distractions pulling you away. Here's a simple exercise to anchor yourself in the present. Wherever you are, pause, take a deep breath, and notice what's around you. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you feel? Engage your senses fully. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back to the now. This practice of presence is a gateway to living openly. It helps you see life as it is, not as your mind projects it to be. And in that clarity, you find freedom. But living openly isn't just about your relationship with yourself. It's also about how you connect with others. How often do we keep our true thoughts and feelings hidden because we're afraid of rejection or misunderstanding? Yet it's in those moments of honesty and vulnerability that real connections are made. Here's a challenge. The next time you're in a conversation, practice radical honesty. Share something true about yourself, something you might usually hold back. Notice how it feels to express yourself openly and authentically. You might be surprised at how it deepens your connection with the other person. Living openly is also about saying yes to life. Too often we hold back out of fear or doubt, waiting for the perfect moment. But the truth is, life rarely gives you perfect moments. You have to create them by stepping forward, by saying yes, even when you're unsure. Living openly is a choice you make every day. It's a practice of letting go of fear, embracing vulnerability, and being fully present. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And now that you've unlocked the power of living openly, let's bring it all together by discovering how to achieve true freedom, freedom that lasts no matter what life throws your way. What does it mean to be truly free? Is it having no responsibilities? Is it escaping all pain and struggle? No, real freedom isn't about escaping life. It's about embracing it fully. It's about living without the inner chains that hold you back, the mental chatter, the emotional weight, the need for control. True freedom begins within. Think of freedom not as something you attain, but as something you uncover. It's already there beneath the layers of fear, doubt, and resistance. Freedom is your natural state when you stop clinging to what no longer serves you and let go of what you can't control. Let's start with the mind. Most of us think freedom comes from solving every problem or achieving every goal. But have you noticed how even when one problem is solved, another one takes its place? It's like a never-ending game. The truth is, the mind will always find something to fixate on unless you learn to step back and observe it. Here's a practice. The next time your mind starts spinning with worries or plans, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. Watch them as if they're leaves floating down a stream. Let them pass without grabbing onto them. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about freeing yourself from the stories your mind creates around it. Now let's talk about emotions. True freedom doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by your feelings. Emotions will rise and fall like waves, but they don't have to carry you away. When you feel anger, sadness, or fear, acknowledge it. Say, "I see you and I accept you." Then let it flow through you instead of resisting it or clinging to it. One of the most powerful realizations about freedom is this: you don't need everything to go your way to be at peace. You can find freedom even in chaos when you let go of the need for life to be perfect. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is howling, the rain is pouring, but at your center there's stillness. That stillness is your true self. It's the part of you that isn't shaken by external circumstances. When you connect with that stillness, you realize that freedom isn't about the storm stopping. It's about finding peace within it. So how do you live this freedom every day? By practicing presence, by letting go of what you can't change, by opening your heart to life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Here's a mantra to carry with you: I am free no matter what. Say it when you feel overwhelmed, when things don't go as planned, or when emotions threaten to consume you. It's a reminder that your freedom isn't out there, it's in here. True freedom is about showing up fully for life, without fear, without resisting distance, and without the need to control. It's about being fully alive in each moment, trusting that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Take a moment and breathe. Let the words settle, let the thoughts quiet, and just be here. Because this is the point we've been building toward. The realization that everything you need is already within you. The clarity, the peace, the freedom, they're not things you have to chase. They're simply waiting for you to uncover them. Think back to where we started with that restless inner voice. At first, it might have seemed like the voice was in control, dictating your every thought, feeling, and decision. But now you know the truth. The voice isn't you. You're the observer, the one watching, listening, and choosing how much power to give it. And then we explored the weight of emotional baggage, the anger, fear, and pain we carry for far too long. Letting go wasn't about ignoring those emotions. It was about feeling them, honoring them, and then releasing them. Because you're not meant to hold on to every wave that crashes against you. You're meant to let them flow, trusting that you'll remain steady no matter how strong the tide. From there, we uncovered the illusion of control, the false belief that we can shape every outcome, avoid every mistake, and protect ourselves from life's uncertainty. True freedom came in the surrender, in trusting the flow of life and realizing that the less you resist, the more peace you find. And finally, we stepped into the art of living openly. No more walls, no more hiding. Instead, an open heart ready to love and be loved, to embrace life's moments with courage and authenticity. This is where joy lives, in the present, unfiltered, and raw. So what's next? What do you do with all this knowledge? The answer is simple: practice. This isn't a one-time shift, it's a daily choice. Every moment you have the opportunity to step back and observe, to release what doesn't serve you, to let go of control, and to open yourself to the infinite possibilities of life. Because freedom isn't a destination, it's not a finish line you cross or a prize you win. Freedom is a state of being. It's choosing again and again to return to yourself, to trust yourself, to live fully and openly, no matter what life brings. So as you leave this video, take one more deep breath. Feel the stillness within you, that unshakable part of you that nothing can disturb. Carry that with you. Let it guide you. And remember, you are free, not because of what's happening around you, but because of what's happening within you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now, go and live the freedom that has always been yours.